Hi, my name is Kyah Kelley, and I'm 29 years old from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I used to work in the fast food industry before I became too disabled to work. I've been suffering from an illness called fluoroquinolone toxicity syndrome. It's a rare disorder caused by having a reaction to fluoroquinolone antibiotics, a very common antibiotic used by many doctors. I had no idea medication of any kind could do this to me, much less an antibiotic. Do not take these types of antibiotics. You never know if you're susceptible to the damage they can cause. When I first experienced the symptoms, it was only the first time I had taken them back in 2008, and it was a delayed reaction, so I never connected it to the drug. I had migraines that would stick around for days at a time, and even the slightest bit of sound or light made it excruciating. I had leg cramps, and my back, wrists, and hips were noticeably weaker. Plus, the cognitive decline that happened was pretty bad. Terrible memory, poor concentration, and an inability to think. I was working at Pizza Hut during this transition, and I did okay considering, but it was a definite challenge. And even though I hadn't noticed the cognitive differences, my boss definitely did. He didn't make too big of a deal of it, but he did cut my hours. Over the years, my symptoms got worse, and it didn't help that I had taken 3 more rounds of it after that, not knowing each time I was making myself worse and worse. After the last 2 rounds of it, I got so bad I could barely walk. I had to use a walker or a wheelchair, which you wouldn't believe is actually really embarrassing at my young age. Whether it's looks of pity or looks of disgust, I got stared down everywhere I went. And my anxiety got so bad I could barely stand to even go to the grocery store. Now I have trouble doing mundane tasks like going to the doctor, going to the DMV, or even doing other less stressful daily things. What made it even worse was the convulsions I would have from time to time, especially when I was stressed out. They'd come on for hours. Right before this, my legs and arms would get extremely weak, and my eyes would get blurry. It didn't take too much to trigger these back then. Just a tiny bit of stress is all it took. Sometimes they'd just come on as they pleased without any triggers. I've tried a wide variety of different treatments from my doctor before I found out what these symptoms were caused by, and not a single one worked. Percocet helped manage my back pain, but after a while it didn't help. I was just addicted. But again, no medicine from my doctor was working. Just causing me more uncomfortable side effects and constant sleepiness. I just barely found out that my problem was a reaction to Cipro about 2 years ago, after 6 years of searching, I would say. And I found out from a friend from a support group for MS, which was what I thought it might be at the time. Since then, I stopped trusting doctors to know what my body needs and started doing research on my own. I finally found a regimen that seems to work fairly well, at least keeping my worst symptoms at bay, like my constant migraines and the convulsions. I take natural supplements now, like SAMe, CoQ10 with ubiquinol, garlic supplements, NAC, which is a antioxidant, and alpha-lipoic acid. And more recently, I added nootropics to the mix, which has already helped tremendously with my cognitive dysfunction. Medical marijuana helped a lot with my depression and anxiety, where no actual psych meds would touch it. Some of those psych meds actually made me worse to the point where I nearly committed suicide. My treatments, luckily, don't cost me that much, but there are months I struggle to keep on them and go without for a while till I can afford it.